Relax with Alex Builds. Hello and welcome back, and here's where we got to last time, or if you prefer, some slightly overexposed drone footage which shows that we've clearly got most of an oak frame up. Right, without further ado, let's get onto the site and pick up the build. It's the 6th of January 2024.
Well, a lot of progress and looking good. Nice morning here, a bit foggy. So I've always known there's an error on the raised collar truss. And the error is that I had to make it a little bit higher. I had to cut the legs at the bottom to make it taller, which makes it wider at the sides. So I've known I've been chasing this error and it hasn't manifested itself, but actually I have spotted the error. So I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but that purlin, the short one at the bottom, is actually sort of basically pointing vertically up as you go from right to left. So what I've got to do is I need to really set that into the raised collar truss. So I either take some material off the bottom of the purlin or I take a bit of material out of the truss. My choice is to take some material out of the truss because it means I can do it with the purlin in situ, which is highly preferable because I don't want to take it out again. It was really hard to get it in. Right, yet another vantage point. I've put a platform up here. This is the section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to gouge out, I'll stop pointing, so just above that little section of 2x4 and below the purlin I'm going to take about a sort of 2-inch section out across the way, and then the purlin can sit down in it. I think that's going to be a better way to sort this one out. Right, never easy getting a camera shot done up here, least of all because you've got scaffolding poles and stuff in the way. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a line here, and there's a line here. So I'm going to gouge a section out, and then basically when I've gone across the circular saw in strips, I'll then bash it out with a chisel like you would ordinarily. I've set the depth to 45mm. A bit of a guesstimate, but should be alright. And of course, huge amounts of material left over. So you know, I'm not going to snap the truss in half, I think. Nice. Stand up, not a very good angle this. Big knot here running down. To get a few moving, it's going to be a lot easier. Tidy up now. How are we doing? Okay.
I'm just going to pause the footage here and explain this. Now, I think I included something in a previous episode where I said I'm surprised that the telehandler with all its beeping isn't annoying the neighbours. Well, it turns out it did annoy the neighbours quite a lot, so much so that they threatened to get the council in. So as I was working, I suddenly saw two people walking up the drive in suits with briefcases. I'm thinking to myself, that's either the council come to shut me down or it's Jehovah's Witnesses.
Looks like we've got a project.
It's a project. Now, is it JW or Parish Council?
JW.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, no, the Parish Council I've got a problem with.
Oh, no. We're not inspectors. No,
Well,
definitely not.
Well, it's not really quite my thing, but I do appreciate very much what you're doing, and it's but just not quite for me. But you get much luck doing this sort of thing, or do you?
Well, given that I was so nice to those Jehovah's Witnesses, maybe you could be nice to me, and by that you might give the video a like, or subscribe to the channel, or if you like being pestered by notifications, even click the bell. It's really appreciated. Now, if it seems like I'm approaching this a bit gingerly and leaning and it looks quite difficult, it's because to the left of the screen there's about a 4-metre drop. I haven't got a platform there, so I don't want to be sort of leaning too far over. You'll see this again in a minute when I have to do the next section as well. That's what I'm a little bit nervous of.
God, that's just so exhausting. Next time I do this one, I have to get the scaffold frame to go all the way across. It's just the sort of leaning out the way is a problem. Particularly tight fit, but give it a bit of movement, it will. Oh, the sun has come out, can you believe it? Now, I don't know if you remember when I was trying to attach the side beam to the back beam, I basically got my drill bit stuck. I was trying to make a hole big enough to take one of these. This is a very, very big screw. Now, I've realised that actually if I just use the 12mm one, this top bit here is actually 15mm wide, so I can do it. So I'm going to try getting this in and then just impact driving the last bit in, which means that I've got this one in. This is the top purlin, well, the top middle. But the thing is, this one may not be in the right position when I come to do the annex, so I want to be able to get it out again, which is why I'm not doweling. Okay, so there we go, where the two dowels are sticking up. We zoom in, better contrast. We have got a better contrast. So there you go, and you can see that's sitting at a better height. I mean, I'm still going to have to sort of notch the rafters to make it work at some stage. Okay, so I've just set that one in down the end. I'm just going to do a similar one in here. No platforms here. Standing on the frame. And a bit of stonework. There you go. I know, it's a loose stone, don't worry about that. Actually, there's a lot of stuff to hold on to now. I mean, in theory, I could climb up on there to do that one, but I draw the line at that. I do have some sense of health and safety. Not quite sure how I feel about this, but I've got the platform. Rather than trying to get a platform up to the top, I'm very comfortable. This truss is, you know, very well rooted in now, so I'm actually going to stand on that mid purlin so that I can just screw in the very last bit up the top. I'm just going to do it with metal, not with dowels, I've decided.
As always, a rather relaxed attitude towards health and safety. And talking of relaxing, I imagine Niles Gregory, possibly the guy from Cheers, who lives in Madeira, a Portuguese island in the Atlantic. He's in Ribeira Brava. And notably, he leaps to my defence, you notice, in terms of people complaining. Who's been complaining? Well, I'll go and check the comments for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, Niles. By the way, while we're in the area, there were some scurrilous rumours that the flag I put on was a white surrender flag for France in the last video. I absolutely promise you that wasn't the case, although only because I didn't think of it. That's exactly the sort of thing I would do. Only joking, and apologies to any French viewers who may be watching.
Now, as you can see, we've got the makings here of quite a good space, but no sides and no roof. I've got a load of wood up here, which admittedly has seen slightly better days, and I have a nice big open space in here. So I'm going to create a new working area which is going to help me to work more during the winter. Genius. Now, when I was creating the raised collar truss down here, I created a kind of platform thing which worked pretty well. I'm going to go for the same approach but twice as big, because the main cost saving is doing, like, if you've got 5 legs, do 5 legs in one go. You know, you've got all the tools out, all the cuts, it's all the same. So I'm making a bigger version of that. So I've just got to get these bits of 2x4 into shape, screw them together, and then I can start to load the first of the wood down here. Okay, so that's turned out to be quite a productive couple of hours. So I've got all my legs down, but on top of that, I have now stored, well, what we've got there are, well, one extra leg I don't need, or that's been cut wrong by the woodyard underneath those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the paint on them. Again, should only be 6. Long story, I'll come to that later. Those are the principal rafters, the diagonals. And then I've got 3 of these big crossbeams, although I'm only planning to use 2 of them. But the big announcement I have is that a temporary roof is going to be going up on this. And when I say roof, I mean tarpaulin. But that's going to be good. Finally, a bit of dry space to work in. Okay, that is on. I might level it up at the front, just because I'm going to be looking at this for quite a long time. Could neaten it up. Spot the obvious mistake. It seems that the tarp wasn't long enough. I thought it was 3 meters over, 3 meters down either side. It's actually 3.6, and that's why we've got a gap. But I mean, some water will come in. Good theoretically go on that. So I mean, I can put another strip of tarp in, and I may well. But there you go. Looks all right, that. Of course, the last time I had a bit of winter cover, didn't go that well. You'll have to cast your mind back to a previous episode for that. So finally, a kind of indoorish place to work. Of course, the one thing it doesn't help with is the fact it's freezing cold. We've got a snow forecast this week. Just sweeping around by the house, got these nice, chilly but bright cold mornings. So there you go, first evening of the tarp. A little bit of snow, not a lot. It's not really the rain or the snow is going to be the big test. It's clearly going to be the wind. Gale force winds, should they arrive, which they will. Well, it's day 2 of what weather. Can the tarpaulin survive? Bit more snow. What a nice scene. Nice in that.
All this icy weather makes me dream of warmer places, and where nicer than San Clemente in California, where Janet Dupre has been watching from. She also includes the population of a city, and just to be clear, you don't have to include that or any socio-demographic information to get on the map. Thanks for watching, Janet.
Cheers, we're getting there.
Yeah, what's he going to be? Don't know, just another building.
Yeah, just a bit of storage, and
Beautiful.
I've still got that bit to do here, but
Oh, it's really, I've been watching it as I come past.
we're getting there.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's nice. It's nice to have a bit of indoor space, even just with a tarpaulin.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to roof it properly, obviously, but
Yeah. Oh, but I look forward to seeing it
yeah,
continue.
could be a while. See, you get a few admirers locally. Oh. Well, it's nice to be in the dry, this working space, but it ain't warm. It's going to warm up tomorrow though, apparently. But we've had like a bit of snow, freezing temperatures. Anyway, for that.
So probably a good idea to remind you what I'm actually building. So that's what I'm supposed to have built so far, and I think you'll agree, so far, pretty accurate. Here's the whole build as we spin it around. Now this white section, I'm going to colour this in as I go. We're going to call this the annex section. And in theory, it's simpler than the main section because it doesn't involve a raised collar truss. It's more standard stuff, and it's a little bit smaller. If you're wondering what that block is in the middle, well, a bit of foresight. I did check the dimensions to check that a pool table would fit. With space for cue action, of course.
Right, I've figured out how to use a camera in this sort of dark space. I mean, the tarpaulin is basically great for rain, terrible for cold, even worse for the wind. It's not raining, it's freezing, and it's really, really windy. I'm sure you can hear the tarp bashing around. The other bit is I'm spending about 30 minutes per session doing running repairs on it, which is not good. But anyway, I have something really exciting to review. Are you ready? This is not exciting, by the way, but I think it is. 3, 2, 1. Haha. But they'll light up. So good. So potentially, I could do a bit of evening work as well. Right, this is all about saving time. You might know, I've just spotted I've got a bit of wood here with a screw sticking out of it, so I'll look forward to catching my head on that in a minute. I haven't got my impact drive to do it, I really should. No, it'll have to wait, it's going to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to do this bit here. Be very careful not to impale my head on this screw sticking through here. So first up, I've got all the dimensions ready to go for this one. So this one I'm going to call number 2, which is down the far corner. Okay, so mark the top. Ow! Done it already. Oh, was that the screw or the wood? It was a screw. Right, I'm going to go in and do that. Ridiculous. Right. I'm actually taking safety quite seriously. You wouldn't think it from that. Now, another thing for really getting this thing speeding up is I bought myself all new blades for everything. Ordering 2 packets, maybe I did. Possible freebie. Where was I? So this is the measurements for the strut, which I can use again and again. Now remember, I've cut all these struts at 45 degrees, so it's the same at the top and that. So the diagonal of the strut is going to come in here, and this gives me the mortise. So all I've got to do is put that there, and then that. Now I'll probably cut it a bit bigger in the end, but hopefully you can see that. Now I'm going to put on here number 2. That is facing the barn, 2B. Yes, I will mortise the letters out, but it will do for now, just so I know where it is.
Good opportunity here just to explain this. So leg 2 that I'm talking about is the one to the left corner, you can see there. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the mortise for this strut. See this one here? Now I'm going to remove it here, and we can zoom in and you can see this impression left over. So that lower square within the square, that's going to be the mortise, and that's the dimension I'm trying to find. And I've got to do this once or twice for each leg, about 8 times in total. So the plywood template I've got is just going to speed that whole process up.
Right, you might remember this from before. This is the turner overer. Saves me doing my back end trying to flip these things over. Because this is a corner one, I've got a tenon here, but I need to do a tenon on the other side as well. Should get a patent on this, I tell you. Oh, shut the camera. Right, so given that we've got a beam projecting here, this tenon, basically, the strut that goes into this tenon is going to go into this beam. This one here is going to go onto the back beam that sits on top of here, this very top line. So, these ones need to go from the very top. So that one was there, this one, pull it up, is from here, and whilst that one needs to sit on the sort of towards this edge to meet this beam that's going to go through here, this one needs to be like bang in the middle. Again, this is going to be on the side beam. So that is piece number 2, and that is going onto, pointing onto the side. Okay, so that's towards the barn. It's on the outside. Should be on the underneath. Oh God, what's wrong with me? right? Yeah, correct. Yeah, should be around the other side. Right, try again. Doesn't matter, that'll come off. Probably. By the way, I don't mind leaving this stuff in. Honestly, it just goes to show it's difficult, right? You've got to be sort of thinking like sort of 3D on what side. It's harder than you think. Kaboom! So that's piece 2, and that is going into the side. I'll put a double tick next to it to say that is definitely correct. Probably won't be. We'll see. Oh, can you hear that? Right, I've said this before. Some days I'm a bit tired. Today I'm a bit tired, a bit cold. So of the 6 beams, in terms of the length, I got 3 of them wrong. One of them, I did the old mill thing. I was looking for 2117, I did 2171. And 2 of them, I just cut to 2 meters. I forgot, because I didn't have my measuring tape, I was doing it with that. I just forgot to add the bit on. That's not good. Anyway, I am going to check them all again, just to be really, really sure. Bollocks.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Good to see I'm back on form with the old cock-ups creeping in there and also impaling my head at one point. Today's episode's been a bit of a catch-up or transition, but I'm pleased to say in the next episode there's a lot more chainsaw and a lot less tarpaulin chat. And more importantly, we really do start to power through this Annex oak frame ready for getting it installed. If you could give the video a like or even subscribe, that would be great. And if you leave me a comment, I always try and reply. Thanks for watching and see you next time.